Okay, just put a little banner on here. There we go. What's up, everyone? We're officially live. Swinging Bull here with PB Alerts, back for another earnings stream. We got GameStop reporting earnings. I want to see what their revenue is. We got and GameStop, weren't they buying Bitcoin at one point? Kind of stockpiling Bitcoin as a strategy. Also reporting is Oracle. Okay, so we got GameStop and Oracle. Let me get my other screen set up so when we get the data, I can share that with everybody. GameStop on the other one. But welcome to the stream, everybody. Good to see y'all. Got a nice little group in Discord. Got almost 100 people tuning in right now from X and YouTube and Kick. Tua on YouTube. Let's get this money. I love it. I love your enthusiasm. I'm on 5-minute charts right now. We go to TradingView. It's 15-minute chart. I'll go to 5 on that one. I'll probably go to the 1-minute chart when the data gets released. But look what Oracle did today. Had a big selling opening move and just V-shaped recovery. Ran into close. GameStop was running into close as well. Get this pop-up out of the way. Okay, GameStop supposed to report right at 4, according to earnings whispers. Forecast EPS 0.19. Forecast revenue 900 million. I know investors really want to see what the revenue is. You can see on this yearly chart here, GameStop's basically been trading sideways leading up to this earnings, y'all. Last earnings looks like they gapped down a little bit, but we go back to the charts. Okay. Tua, I'll check RGT, excuse me, here in a minute for you. We can see what happened there. Look at GameStop getting a positive reaction so far. Okay, so their data must be out. TK, there's no sound on mobile. Okay, yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. I double checked my settings. They're all right. Maybe it's a setting on your end. Everyone said they could hear me on the Discord. So no sound on mobile. Maybe it's a Discord issue. But anyways, let's go to GameStop. Okay. I'm going to refresh my screen real quick. Wow, almost 300 people now. Good to see y'all. Seeing a lot of familiar names. Okay, GameStop's earnings are out. Got a nice little graphic here I can share with everyone. Keep the price of GameStop on the right over here. GameStop's up about 5%. Let's see if this move holds up, because it's okay. It's reversing now. Just retraced 100% of that initial positive move, and we see that time and time again. That we get the initial move and then it just immediately reverses the other way. Now it's going back up. So we got quite the volatility going on with GameStop. Let's look at this graphic. So again, the forecast EPS was 0.16, which is what earnings whisper said 0.19, but no worries. Oops, let me go back to the TradingView. Yeah, I'll keep GameStop on the right. 1-minute chart. There we go. Okay, so let's just go over these numbers real quick. Forecast EPS 0.16. They just reported 0.25. They beat by 56% on EPS. Revenue, looks like they had a very nice double-digit beat percentage-wise on revenue. Forecast was 823 million. And they reported 972 million. So they beat revenue by 18%. That's a solid beat. Look at the EPS. Up 2,400% year over year. That's insane. Revenue up 22% year over year. EPS and revenue up double digits quarter over quarter as well. So just from a bird's eye view, it looks like their data is good. Kind of green across the board as far as the EPS and revenue goes. Let me see if I can find some commentary from the CEO or the CFO. Porterhouse says, oh, it's GameStop. Yep. GameStop just reported I want to see if I can find any commentary from their CEO or CFO. We'll find out when their earnings web call is, and I'll show everyone how to get there. Look at Oracle. Almost said Oreo. Look at Oracle. Getting a negative move here. And yeah, it's 4:05 p.m. Eastern, so they just reported. We'll go back. We'll go to them here in a minute. I want to keep looking at GameStop just for a second. I know Oracle's the more stable company, obviously trading above $200, but I'm going to put the EPS and revenue data on the bottom of my screen for GameStop. And then let's see if I can find some more information for everybody. GME earnings. I really like that revenue beat. Look at Oracle. Just did some crazy stuff on Oracle. Oracle sold off down to the 220s, mid 220s. Again, not the real move. How many times are we going to see something like that? You know, that initial move, a lot of times, is not the right move. It's just crazy price action with these earnings catalysts. But initial negative move to the mid 220s. Now it obviously got bought up, and now it's up here in the 250s. Go back to GameStop. Let me finish posting this on my screen. There's the GameStop data for everybody. GameStop announces dividend of warrants to shareholders. Let me read this article here so I can let everyone know what's going on with this. We're going to go shift over to Oracle here in a minute, but GameStop today announced a special dividend to be distributed in the form of warrants to holders of the company's common stock as of October 3rd, 2025. That's the record date, the record date. That's interesting. So this is a special dividend, and it's going to be in the form of warrants. So it's a dividend of warrants to shareholders. That's nice of them to do. So that means each registered shareholder as of record date, which is October 3rd, will receive one warrant for every 10 shares of GameStop, rounded down to the nearest whole warrant. Additionally, in lieu of an adjustment to the applicable conversion rate, holders of the company's convertible senior notes due 2030 and 2032 will each receive warrants on an as converted to common stock basis in accordance with the respective governing indenture. The company expects to distribute up to approximately 59 million warrants on or around Tuesday, October 7th. That's the distribution date. So you just got to wait 4 days after the record date or record date. October 3rd is when you need to own the shares. Excuse me, my office phone is ringing. Let me put them on mute, and I'll call them back later. Okay, so you need to own the shares on October by on October 3rd, and then 4 days later on October 7th is when you'll actually get the distribution of the special. It's a special dividend, but it's in the form of a warrant. So that's really cool. I think I like that. And also, the warrants will be issued without any action required by the company's shareholders or note holders as of the record date, and without any payment of cash or other consideration. Okay. All right. So this is the deal. Each warrant will entitle the holder to purchase one share of common stock at an exercise price of $32 at any time following the distribution date until the warrants expire on October 30th, 2026. Okay, so you're only going to have 1 year to exercise the warrants after the distribution date. That's a good piece of information to know if you're a GameStop shareholder. Holders can only exercise a warrant by paying the exercise price to acquire the shares of common stock in cash. Following the distribution date, the warrants are expected to be freely tradable and listed on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker GMEWS. Okay, so that's going to be the ticker that the warrants are going to be traded on. Recipients of the warrants will be able to trade their warrants or exercise any warrants in accordance with the warrant agreement Okay. Just read this last paragraph here. The transaction provides GameStop shareholders the option to participate in the company's capital raising on a non-dilutive basis. That's good. If exercised, the warrants are expected to generate up to approximately $1.9 billion of gross proceeds, which GameStop intends to use for general corporate purposes, including making investments in a manner consistent with GameStop's investment policy and potential acquisitions. All right, so that was a pretty good explanation about the special dividend they're giving shareholders in the form of warrant. Very interesting. All right, so initial positive reaction up to 20, a little above 25. Then it basically retraced all the way back down, probably like 95% retraced because it closed the regular session at $23.59. Now it's sitting here in after hours at $23.85. So it was up 1.59% on the day, sitting here in after hours up 1%. But that's really neat that they're going to give that special dividend in the form of a warrant to shareholders. Again, you need to own shares by or on October 3rd, and the distribution date is October 7th is when you'll get the warrants. And the ticker symbol that you can trade the warrants is going to be GMEWS. All right, let me see if I can get some other data for everyone. And then we're going to go over to Oracle. It's almost 4:15. Before I go over to Oracle, we'll figure out how to get to the GameStop earnings web call, and I'll get the link for everyone to make it easy for everyone to get to that if you want to watch it. So net sales were $972.2 million compared to $798 million on the prior year's second quarter. Selling, general, and administrative expenses were $218 million compared to $270 million same time last year. So they improved their expenses. The expenses went down. That's a good thing. Net income was $168.6 million for the period compared to a net income of $14.8 million same time last year. So look at that increase in the net income. That's amazing. Same time last year was only $14 million. They just reported $168 million in net income. That's good. I think there's upside with GameStop with this earnings report. The earnings report looks good. They're profitable now. Let me just look at what the income statement looked like going into this earnings. Yeah, they're coming off. They pulled a profit previous to this earnings. So they have gotten back to profitability. You can see the annual basis, 2021, 2022, 2023, they lost a ton of money. Like 200 to almost 400 million loss, kind of in a little range there for those years, for each of those years. And finally, they've come back to profitability. So I think there's upside with GameStop. I mean, I know it's kind of like a meme stock, and but it's not looking so meme-ish anymore, is it? They're pulling in a solid positive net income now. They're paying out special dividends. I mean, this is good. I do think there's going to be some more upside with GameStop. Let's see what the bigger time frames look like. And then I'll show everyone how to get to the earnings web call, get the link, and then we'll jump over to Oracle and talk about that one. And then at the end of the stream, I do want to update everyone on the account challenge I started 4 weeks ago, which has been going fantastic. We're 6 trades into the account challenge, and we have 6 winners. So we're 6 for 6. I'm not saying I'm going to go undefeated with this account challenge, but hey, so far that's kind of that's what's going on now. We're 6 for 6, 6 trades, 6 winning, 6 winners. So I'll touch base on that towards the end of the stream. But let me look at some. Let me go back to TradingView just real quick. Weekly chart on GameStop. It's trading at $24 in post market right now. Go daily chart first. Wow, there's a pretty good gap here on the daily chart. This is from June. the second week of June. And it did try and make an attempt to fill the gap back here in July. It just didn't happen. I think there's a chance that this gap fills now sooner than later. Resistance number one, I'm putting that right at 25 bucks. It's trading at 24.18 right now in after hours. So R1, 25 bucks. If this thing gets back over 25, I would expect this gap to fill, which will take it up to 28 and some change. That'd probably be a nice, easy gap fill trade, even just on the equity side, to be honest with you. It's what that's going to be like 20% just on the shares, around there. Yeah, that could just be a 20% equity cash grab right there. I like that. So that's kind of what I'm looking at on this bigger time frame on GameStop. Look for that. You know, now that we got the earnings data, the data is good data. They were nice and profitable, especially comparing to the same period last year. Their positive net income is so much better by a mile. And couple that with the special dividend they're paying out in October, I think this gap gets filled sooner than later. And that would be an easy 20% gain just on shares. So that's kind of what I'm looking at on GameStop. Let me move this back over here. Oh yeah, I also want to say for GameStop, okay, so we already went over the net income they just reported. Also wanted to show their cash and equivalents and marketable securities, 8.7 billion at the close of the second quarter. Their cash and equivalents same time last year was only 4.2 billion. So they doubled their cash and equivalent position, if you will. That's pretty nice. And then this is what I was talking about earlier. Yeah, I know they had been accumulating Bitcoin. That was released to us in some of their previous earnings, that they had been accumulating Bitcoin. And they just announced that their Bitcoin holdings were valued at 528.6 million at the close of the second quarter. So they still got a huge Bitcoin position, just kind of chilling right there. Good stuff. I'm kind of impressed with GameStop. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm kind of impressed with them. They beat revenue estimates by 18%, and they beat EPS estimates by 56%. And then they got the gap up here to 28 and some change. This is looking good. I haven't really been a fan of GameStop in the past because it's so meme type stock, right? Trying to stay away from those stocks. Those that know me in the Discord know I'm more about consistency, and I target income and stuff like that. But I try not to mess around with the meme stuff too much. I mean, might jump in for a technical analysis cash grab every now and then or something, but not something I would hold in my long-term account. But I have to say, GameStop kind of impressed me. Their earnings impressed me. Absolutely. I'm going to say congrats to the GameStop bulls. I mean, I know it's not catching a huge bid right now, but nonetheless, it is up about 2% in after hours. I do think eventually that gap on the daily chart up to 28 and some change does get filled. Resistance level number one, 25 bucks. Break 25 with some good momentum, and preferably a daily candle close above 25. This should be an easy trade to 28, 29, I think. Yeah, Tua on YouTube is looking at that gap with me. It's there. And I think it's got the juice it needs now to potentially go and fill that. And again, I know it's not really, rallying right now. I mean, initial reaction, it wicked up to 25.20, immediately kind of came down. So might be a little bit of profit taking going on right now. But nonetheless, they got a really decent cash position. They got a really solid Bitcoin position. They pulled a positive net income. They're making profit now compared to 2021, 2022, and 2023. I mean, talk about a turnaround story. GameStop's on to something here. I like it. Let me find out when their earnings web call is, and then we'll talk about Oracle. And then I want to go over the account challenge trades that I just closed out today and give everyone an update on how that's going, because we are knocking it out of the park on that account challenge I started about 4 weeks ago. And you can follow me on X. I put all my updates and progress to the account challenge on my X account. You can see my handle scrolling in a banner on the bottom of my screen right now. It's swinging bull _1. And there's also a link in the description of this stream, a hyperlink. Will take you straight to it without typing anything. But give me a follow on X, and I'll keep you up to speed on my account challenge. I'll go over that a little bit more here in a minute. We still got to go over Oracle. Oracle caught a bid. Oracle's up freaking $48 a share. Congrats to the Oracle bulls. It doesn't look like it's coming back down either. And it was kind of funny. It wicked down to the 220s before it made this move. So literally came down like $15 a share from where it closed at. That was the initial reaction, and then just almost an automatic immediate reversal when that happened, and now it's up. Now it's up over $50 a share. Oracle's up over 20%, y'all. Amazing. How amazing is that? All right, let me go to GameStop's investor relations. See when this earnings web call is. I got news releases here. Let's see if it's on there. September 19th. Okay, I'm not seeing the earnings web call yet. When I get it, I'll show everyone. I'll post the investor relations page link because it'll be on there. I'll just post that in the comments for everyone. So there's the GameStop investor relations link, if you will. And that's where you can see straight from, or you can read straight from the horse's mouth, the earnings data that came out. They do have a news release that just dropped with all the information in it. And it'll explain to you the special dividend in the form of warrants that they're doing in October and more details about that kind of stuff. Let's go to Oracle because they totally slam dunked this earnings, it looks like. Up, let's go back here, up $53 a share now, up almost 22%. They closed the regular session at $241.51. They're trading at $295 right now, $296 now. What a move. I mean, if you had call options on this anywhere near close to the money, you're getting paid on this tomorrow for sure. Even the far out of the money options should be paying pretty well. Of course, the deeper you are in the money with your options, the better delta you're going to get. That simulates synthetic shares a little bit better. And you'll get hit with theta a lot less the more in the money it's in. So anytime I trade naked options, I try, if I can, some of options in the money are super duper expensive, but if you can afford it, try and get those things in the money. You're going to get paid through the delta and gamma alone on those. Okay, Oracle Q1 cloud revenue was up 28% year over year. RPO backlog growing to 359%. Wowzers. That equates to a $455 billion backlog and on track to top $500 billion. That is amazing. Multi-cloud database revenue from Amazon, Google, and Microsoft spiked 1,529%. Can you believe that? Oracle hit a grand slam home run on these earnings. Taking a little breather right now, but nothing crazy. Still trading up here at $290, up $48.20 a share right now. That is amazing. Okay, sales expected to climb 77% to $18 billion this year, with the 4-year roadmap hitting $144 billion. All right, here's some commentary from Oracle's CEO. We signed 4 multi-billion-dollar contracts in Q1. RPO backlog increased 359% to $455 billion. We just went over that. Demand for Oracle Cloud infrastructure continues to build. We expect several additional multi-billion-dollar customers. Wow. RPO likely to exceed $500 billion soon. All right. So really good data. And just so everyone knows, RPO stands for remaining performance obligations. Here's some commentary from the CTO, Chief Tech Officer. He's also the chairman. His name's Larry Ellison. Multi-cloud database revenue from Amazon, Google, and Microsoft grew 1,529%. We already knew, we talked about that. Next month, we will introduce the Oracle AI database. Customers can run Gemini, ChatGPT, Grok, etc. directly on Oracle database for instant AI insights. Oracle AI Cloud Infrastructure and Oracle Multi-Cloud AI Database will dramatically increase demand. AI changes everything. That's commentary from the CTO and chairman, Larry Ellison. So Oracle, what a move on Oracle. I'm happy. I'm so happy for the Oracle bulls. Congratulations. If you were long on Oracle, you're getting paid tomorrow. You are getting paid tomorrow. My buddy Shai Balor on X, always giving out some great information. So like NVIDIA GPUs or PLTR locked government plus enterprise into AI operating systems, Oracle is building a subscription moat, turning $18 billion of cloud revenue today into $144 billion in 4 years. So my buddy Shai Balor on X, if you're looking for someone very knowledgeable about the markets and someone who's a very savvy investor, go follow Shai Balor on X. Shout out to my boy Shai. So looks like Oracle's building a subscription moat. Fantastic. Congrats to the Oracle bulls. We already went over some commentary from the CEO and CFO. Nice, beautiful, positive reaction on Oracle. Let me look at some bigger time frames on Oracle here. Let's take a look. All right, so they're trading at 290 here in after hours. All right, so I gotta move my screen down here. There we go. Okay, is this all-time highs? I think it is for Oracle. Let me see. Go monthly chart. Yeah, this is in all-time high territory. I mean, they were already kind of hitting all-time highs last month in August, and then they hit an all-time high in July. Well, more specifically, it was July, and then they kind of tested it a little bit in August. So they smashed right through that. That was around 260. So that previous resistance on Oracle on the monthly chart around 260 just got smashed to pieces. So good stuff. There's really no levels to kind of predict on this because it's kind of in uncharted territory. It's never been this high before. So it's trading at $290. Amazing. All right. So yeah, congrats to the Oracle bulls for sure. Let me post their EPS and revenue on the bottom of my screen. And then we'll talk about, I'll give an update on my account challenge. It's about 4:30 p.m. right now. Oh yeah, let me see when Oracle's doing their earnings web call because I know people want to know that. All right, let's take a look. All right, I'm just going to go to their investor relations page. Oops. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so 4 p.m. Central Time. So that's going to be 5 p.m. Eastern is going to be their earnings web call, okay? Let me go just the latest events here. And right here, this is the link. So I'm going to I'm gonna copy and paste this link into my bottom of my screen here. Okay, there we go. So that will get you, I'll leave it up there for a little bit so people can screenshot that. But as soon as you get to that link, that'll take you to the earnings web call. You can see right here on my screen, they got a link here for the webcast. Starts at 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central. So in 30 more minutes, we'll get the Oracle earnings web call. Don't really got any resistance levels to give on this one because it hasn't traded this high ever. So, you know, we're just going to have to wait for some more daily candles to print and see where the next resistance could be, and then kind of go from there. But intraday candles, working on a third 15-minute candle. We look at the 5-minute. Only one 5-minute red candle has printed so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 6. So yeah, this could still go higher, I think. All right. 1 hour candle probably just looks pretty solid, you know, a little bit of a top wick, but not much. So let me wait for it to pull back a little bit and then draw a Fibonacci on it. I would not count this bottom wick when you go to draw your fib on this, because that was not the real move. So I'd probably put the fib, the bottom of the fib chart, like right here, the body of this candle before it rallied. And then just draw it up to the top. Maybe wait for it to kind of take a breather. I mean, it looks like it's taking a little breather right now. So I guess we could get some intraday or, you know, smaller time frame support levels. We can definitely look at that. So I probably, actually, let me go the other way with it. I'll go from top to bottom on this. Yeah, I'd probably draw it right there. So support level number 1. It's this 25% retrace. I'm going to put it at 283 a share. So bulls for continuation, it'd be nice for 283 to hold. I mean, even if it pulls back there, that's just healthy price action. Get a bounce right there at 283. Look for a test of after hours high, which we will say, yeah, 296.99. 1 penny off from 297. Okay. So support level number 1, at least for after hours price action, it's going to be 283 a share. And resistance number 1, it's going to be the after hours high. So pretty simple there. And I got the link on the bottom of my screen to get everyone to the earnings web call. So I'm not going to personally stream that, but I do like to give the link and the time of when that's going down so everyone at least has that information. Got about 1,000 people tuning in right now. Still got a nice good group in Discord here, nice little core group. But almost 1,000 people tuning in from X and YouTube and Twitch and Kick. Good to see everyone. Lots of familiar names I'm seeing. All right. Let me go over the progress of my account challenge that I started. I'll give everyone an update on that because it has been going fantastic. Nothing short of fantastic. All right, I'm just going to go to my X page real quick. All right, so this is my X page. This is what it looks like, okay? And of course, I'm live right now. But here's let me actually go to the trades I closed out. So I'm full transparency. I'm showing everybody the contracts that I've been trading on this account challenge. It's been 4 weeks. Okay, it's been 4 weeks, 6 trades, 6 winners. Full disclosure, here's all the trades. You can see for yourself. Okay, not hiding anything. All right. Which equated to when I did my final update, I started the account with $2,500. I'm only using the wheel strategy. So all I'm doing is writing contracts. I'm on the selling side of the opening transaction. I started the account with $2,500. I've now got it to $2,726.79. This equates to just about a 9.1% return in only 4 weeks. All right, so You know, do the math. You know, I'm not saying I'm going to get 9% every single month, but that's kind of what we're on track to do here. If I can get 9% a month for 12 months, I mean, do the math. I'm going to double this account in 12 months. That's kind of a lofty expectation, maybe a little greedy. My fellow contract writers, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We try not to be, you know, we're not trying to really get rich over. I mean, as much as I would like to get a bunch of money overnight, the wheel strategies is more for consistency, and also compared to the other strategies I've traded over the years, it has been my most profitable strategy. Of course, I've been trading this strategy for a long time, but you know, the account challenge is going fantastic. 9% return in 4 weeks. Let's go. Let me. So anyways, if you want to follow along with the challenge, give me a follow on my X account. And I do have a coaching team, if you will, on the Discord. I think it's like $39 a month. But I was told by the higher ups in the Discord that I am approved to give out a pretty sweet discount on my coaching program, which is 20% off. So if you're interested in the 20% off promotion for my coaching program, go to my X account, give me a follow, and then in the comments on this pinned post, type in income. How about that? Type in income in the comments on this X post, and I will send you a message with the 20% off code that you can use at checkout. And a nice little discount on the coaching program if you're interested in. And I do a lot more trades outside of this account challenge. Just to give everyone an idea, I usually have around 4 to 6 actual wheel strategy trades on my main account going at all time. And as wheels fully rotate and I'm getting profit, then I open new ones. But I always have a pipeline of 4 to 6 trades going all at one time. That does not include the trades I'm doing for this wheel challenge, for this account challenge. That's a totally separate deal. And then I usually alert between 4 to 6 spread trades a month. So there's plenty of action going on my coaching program. And that small monthly fee for the coaching program, I'll make that back for you on the very first trade. All right. So anyways, it's been going great. And let me just show you. Let me actually go over here to the Discord. And let's look at the some. Actually, I'll just pull my Fidelity account up. That's fine. I'm not, you know, scared of showing my account to people. I do it all the time. So here's 3 trades. This is outside of the wheel challenge. Let me get rid of that little banner there. There we go. These are separate trades outside of that account challenge. So like I said, I always got something going on. See if I can zoom in a little bit so y'all can see that. So I'm running another wheel on Mara. Anytime Mara trades between 10 and 20, I don't mind snagging it in the middle, or even better, closer to 10. But this particular wheel, I started on the 15 strike. Collected $46 a contract on these. You can see I'm short the puts, which means it's neutral to bullish strategy. They're currently only worth $28, so that's good. Anytime, you know, when we're writing contracts, we actually want these contracts to go to zero. Right? That's how we get paid, by shorting contracts. That's technically what we're doing, is we're shorting the put. So if I collected $46 a contract on the opening transaction as the seller, as the person who wrote the contract, I want this to go to zero, and then I pocket the $46. And of course, I did 2 lot size, so that brought in $92.65 in income on that one. I also started a wheel on JetBlue again. Got $19 a contract on these. They're selling for 16 now. So I'm green on those as well. That was another $96, almost $100 in income on that one. And I am running another wheel on Ford. I am a Ford fan. I love the stock. I've made some decent money. I've made some decent return on capital on Ford over the years. I recently just wheeled it, and the wheel fully rotated. I ended up converting it to a buy plus right strategy, and I ended up buying shares before their ex-div date, kind of forcefully assigned myself, if you will, so I could get the dividend. And then I started rinse and repeating covered calls, and my shares ended up getting called away for profit, which is no problem. That's fine. So I'm re-entering Ford now with these 1150 puts. I got $17 a contract times 2. I brought in almost another $35. This is like $225 in income that I'm, and this is only 10 calendar days before these expire. Not this Friday, but next Friday. All right. Seeing a little bit of drawdown on Ford. I'm only down $5. It's a drop in the bucket. I don't care. And if Ford is below 1150 in the next 10 calendar days, then I'll start selling covered calls. No problem. Take a sip of water there. So yeah, those are the 3 trades I got open right now. That's what I do on these streams. At the end of the streams, I like to show everyone what I got cooking, what kind of buns I got in the oven, if you will. And again, I'm just having a blast doing this wheel challenge. Matter of fact, in the Discord, I also have a completely separate channel specifically for this wheel challenge. And again, showing everyone my trades. We've done 6 trades, and we got 6 winners so far. On this account challenge, I've wheeled Bull, which is Webull, JetBlue, Mara. I did a trade on TSLL, which was nice. Also did a trade on UMAC, which is the drone company that I've been trading a little bit here and there lately. But yeah, it's been going great, and I update everyone on this before I enter the trades and what my expectations are, and every single week. This was in week 2. Week 2, I was already up 5% on the account. Week number 1, I was up 3%, 3.2% in week number 1. So you can see that I give all the updates on here, walking everyone step by step through this account challenge and showing everyone you don't need a ton of capital to write contracts. Some people think you need like this huge 6-figure account to write contracts, and that's just simply not the case. And I'm proving it firsthand, live with everyone. If you got a few $1,000 and you're sick of the rat race of the day trading crap, trying to day trade SPY and QQQ all the time, most people that blow their accounts up, it's usually because of that. They're trying to get rich quick. They're trading SPY and QQQ, and they end up blowing their account up. If you're getting sick of that crap and you're just sick of the rat race, there is a better way to trade, okay? There is a better way to trade. You can actually be on the other side of the transaction. You don't have to be a buyer, and you don't need a ton of money to do it. I'm proving it right here with this account challenge. I started with 2,500, and it's already up 9% in 4 weeks. And I'll be alerting the next trade on this account challenge probably tomorrow. And then we'll go from there. But yeah, just wanted to share that with everyone and show everyone the progress, and also some of the other open trades I have outside of the account challenge. And I definitely have so much fun writing contracts. Who knew trading could be like fun, because trying to get rich with SPY and QQQ, overnight, that's not fun. You're gonna be too stressed out to have any kind of fun. Trading the way I trade, I have fun. We actually have fun, Like Fridays is our payday. We love it. Most of our expiration dates usually fall on a Friday, so we look forward to Fridays. That's like our payday, right? Because I target weekly and monthly income. Lately, I've been doing bi-weekly in the middle, and so every 2 weeks I look forward to a nice little payday, and it's just been a blast. But yeah, again, usually when I do these streams, I try and keep it kind of calm, cool, and collective, and I'm not really here to sell anyone anything. But if you are interested in diving in a little bit more, check out my coaching program. Go to my X account, give me a follow, and comment income. Just comment income. on the pinned post, and I will message you a 20% off code. You could save some money, and I will make. I mean, shoot, probably the first trade, I'll make you several months of what that monthly fee is with the 20% off code. I think it's only like $20 a month. You know, we're pulling in several $100s every few weeks on this. So, you know, the first month I can finance the cost of the coaching program monthly fee for like the next year or two for you. You know, at least the next 10 months or a year. But yeah, so other than that, yeah, it's about 4:45 p.m. That's really all I got for today. Let me just take a quick peek at Oracle. Okay, Oracle just made a run to after hours high. I gotta kind of move this fib up a little bit here. So Oracle just made a new after hours high. So this thing still has legs on it. I thought it was pulling back a little bit. It did take a little breather, pulled back to my 9 EMA, kind of used that as support and rode that up to basically testing, you know. Let me see what Weeble says. Well, actually, go back here. Oh yeah, I gotta add the high and low options on this particular chart setup. That's okay, I'll do that later. So current after hours high is 297.69 on Oracle after closing the regular session at 241.51. It's up 22.5% in after hours, almost $55 a share in the green for Oracle. Congrats to the Oracle bulls. You should be having a nice payday sitting in your account tomorrow. So congrats on that. Look at GameStop finally going up like I thought it was going to do. So again, back up to this $25 level. We were looking at that level on the bigger time frame. That $25 level, that's kind of where it came down, when it came up to in July before it got rejected and sold off for a week and a half or so. But like I say, if we get if tomorrow's candle closes above 25, or you know, pre-market price, you know, we got the remainder of after hours and then into pre-market. I think there's a good chance this fills the gap. That'll take it to like 28.50 around there. Could be a nice and easy 20% on your money, 15-20% return just on the shares on GameStop. GameStop's earnings, I think, were good. Green across the board. They beat EPS. They beat revenue forecasts. They beat the year over year and quarter over quarter EPS and revenue estimates were beaten. Excuse me, the same time period, you know, compared to the same time period last year, the year over year and quarter over quarter numbers were double digit growth. Beautiful. And they're giving shareholders a special dividend in the form of a warrant. You just need to be owner of record by October 3rd, and you will get the distribution of the special dividend warrant on October 7th. All right, so I just want to clarify that as well. But yeah, that's really all I got for today. Dave B on Discord says, thanks for your time. Really interesting session. I appreciate the kind words there, my friend. I do these streams every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and this is the kind of stuff we do. We go over I pick out two of the kind of the popular stocks that are reporting. We go over EPS, revenue, any guidance, any commentary from the CEO, CFO, things like that. We figure out what time the earnings web calls are with the CEO and the upper management and what and the links to get there. And then towards the end of the stream, I like going over some of my open positions just to kind of give everyone a feel of you know, what kind of things I got in the oven right now. And I have a lot of fun. I really enjoy doing this. I've been doing this for, I know I've been doing it all this year. I think I was doing it last year as well, but created pretty good following. It's been built up. Usually we have a few thousand people tuning in. We got over 1,000 people tuning in today. So again, good to see everyone. But yeah, my name's The Swinging Bull with PB Alerts. If you're looking for a new home, check out our Discord. You can sign up for free. And if you do end up joining, tag me in the chat. I'll come by and say hello, and maybe we can talk for a little bit. And maybe there's something I can help you out with right away. You know, who knows? But yeah, if you do join, I look forward to meeting you. Well, other than that, I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their night. And we'll be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern for another earnings stream. Cheers, and I'll see you next time.